Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. Today it's going to be a very weird day to trade, but sorry, my puppy is making a mess here in my room. Okay, so well, as I was saying, today is not a very clear day in NASDAQ, at least not for me. Okay, so here I'm showing you guys the Asian range that was created during the night. Usually when the Asian range is created like this, we tend to have a run on the buy side liquidity. So I don't see any buy side liquidity that we can maybe just sweep today, and something that can be actually reached. But if we see, we have this fair value gap here that was created during the drop yesterday, that we never touch it back, not even the consequent encouragement. Give me 1 second, guys. Snow. No. No, se está metiendo aquí abajo. No, ya. Sorry, guys, she's 45 days old, so she's just a baby. Okay, so guys, se te ven los pies, amor. Okay, so here, as I was saying, we will have probably, I mean, a day like this, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we tend to just go all the way up. But since we still have room to go lower, people will think we cannot go any lower due to this big retracement that we had in here, right? So due to the algorithm that is happening right now, it gives me the momentum or the bias that the market wants to go really high. Okay, but I really don't think we will go any further than this consequent encouragement from this fair value gap. Also today we don't have news, I think. Oh, today's bank holiday. I didn't know that because I'm from Colombia, guys. So today we can use this day as any sort of retracement, and that was the reason why I told you guys that if we didn't have the drop yesterday, it wasn't happening this week. So it would be pretty um, it would be pretty simple to guess that today we will be or stay inside this range. Okay, why inside this range? Because going back up here is not enough to give us a whole retracement for the buy side. Okay, it's not enough. Why? Because we will need to reach for this blue rectangle that we have in here in order to make a market continuation to the buy side, and that is not gonna happen. If it happens, because we cannot just assure that, but I mean, I think it won't happen. But okay. Give me one second. Coffee with coconut oil, just the best. Well, as I was saying, guys, in order for us to have a confirmation to go all the way up again, we will need to reach this fair value gap and stay above it, which for me is too much to happen in a bank holiday and also after a day with a drop with a drop like this. Okay, with a drop like this. So what I think is that we will use this fair value gap that we have in here as any sort of rejection from the market to continue going lower. Okay, so if we see the 4-hour chart, we are going to see that we're making an easy retracement. This is not a reversal, this is a retracement. Okay, so we still have room in this fair value gap, as you can see in here. Look where the consequent encouragement of this fair value gap at 50-minute is. Look, just a little bit above, 15 points above of the top of this fair value gap that was created in the 4-hour. For that reason, it would be very simple to get there to then retrace in the 4-hour chart. So for me, this candle in the 4 hours should give us, before the opening, a jump to this consequent encouragement, and from there reverse before 10 a.m. and stay inside that fair value gap after 10 a.m. and yeah, like staying like in a small consolidation until Monday, and on Monday we will continue dropping for previous liquidity down here. I really don't think we will come back to this fair value gap that's in the 4-hour chart. And why I don't think that, guys? Because if you see, we had a displacement here, we tried to make another displacement, and when these kind of things happen, we usually try to have 3 big displacements to the downside. If it is interrupted, like it happened here when it wanted to do the move, it's gonna make the retracement, yeah, that's fine, but it will find its way back down, and we will have at least 3 downside candles that are going to be at least this big, of 150 points, meaning we will get back down at least 500 points to the downside, meaning coming back down here again, back to this fair value gap. Also, we have here a fair value gap that we haven't touched, you see? So it could happen, we can just leave all of this liquidity intact, to sweep it in just one single movement, probably the next year. Okay, so if we check the daily, look how the daily is going. It's giving you all the clear confirmation that we want to go lower. Also, something that I didn't realize before is this. So this is a clear confirmation that we wanted to go lower here. This is the clear confirmation. But we want to go lower. We want to go higher, but the algorithm needs to go lower. So that's what this candle this week is telling you. This week is telling you we need to go higher. That's what I want to do. I want to go higher, but the algorithm needs to go lower. Okay, so that's the reason why we had this small sweep of the liquidity there. It shouldn't be a small sweep on liquidity. It should have been a hard sweep on liquidity to the downside. Okay, but it didn't happen. So, well, anyways, I want to check the weekly. I never do this, but I never do this, but you know, why not? So in the weekly, we have very nice liquidity down here and down here as well. Also, we have another fair value gap. Also, we have a void here that we haven't retouched again. So, but it took from June until July, 1 month to get back to it. Okay. So it's fine. It's fine. So yeah, as I was saying, guys, today I will not be trading. I will not be doing any trades at all, I think. Well, probably I could be taking some trades in here, guys, just to show you. But I will need to wait. I really want to take a trade here to the downside because as I said, even though I have the thinking that we could come here, at the same time I think the market doesn't really want to go up there. Okay, so I think I'm taking here a trade, but let me see.
Order filled.
So I'm going to be taking a trade here, guys. Let's see how it reacts to the market. So let's just see how it reacts. I won't be holding this for too long. The reason why I decided to take a trade here to the downside, guys, it's because we're still 30 minutes away from the opening. So if we really want to come up here and then drop after the opening, we will need to make any sort of retracement to then, just before the opening happens, meaning the 10 minutes before, we can do rapid moves to the buy side. Okay, and these rapid moves are going to take us here to then drop at 9:50, 9:50 or 10 a.m. Okay, so I really think, as I said, that we won't go any higher than this if we are planning to go higher, which I don't see that very clear for me. It's an easy drop, and that we're going to either be playing from this range, that is the consequent encouragement of this fair value gap, until the bottom of the opening range that is being formed, or from the top of this opening range to the low of the Asian range low that was taken yesterday. So we either are playing inside this range, or we either are playing inside this range, but we will need to have a playground of around 100 and 120 or 50 points. Okay, so that's the reason why I decided to take the trade to the downside. Okay, and yeah, my bias today is to go short, but with the mindset that we could probably continue going higher, since the algorithm that is running right now in the market is a buying algorithm, meaning that you should be looking for buys, but just as every algorithm, it has to come to an end. Okay, and it has to finish at some point. And even though we started the buying algorithm here, that should have been happened on here, uh, we're like delayed. Okay, the market is like delayed, so we are doing the movements that we were supposed to do times before. Okay, so that's the reason why it looks like this, and that's the reason why I think we will not go that high, but to stay inside this range here. Well, so guys, something that I want to talk to you today is that in bank holidays, um, where you are not supposed to be trading because it can be risky, bank holidays are just literally the same shit as previous days. It's just the same. The only difference in a bank holiday and a normal day is that the movements in the market are disorganized. Okay, let me explain to you. If we want to go higher today, just as it is kind of showing that we want to go higher, right? It'll go higher. But if we need to do, for instance, a retracement of 10 points, right? Just look at this. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. Look. Just look at this candle. Look at this candle. You see this candle here, right? You see where it ended. It ended down here. Okay? So, when I say that it is disorganized, you see where it finished and you see where the next candle started, like as it created a void here. You see, so this black square that we have in here is what I mean when I say the market moves disorganized. Okay, why? Because it's doing what it needs to do, what the algorithm is supposed to do, but it is doing it in a weird way just to fuck people up. Meaning, for instance, if you had and the market was supposed to have the stop loss here, for instance, right? So, and this movement went just through it. Well, it happened not because it had to happen that way, but because it's bank holiday and it moves like this. Okay, so on 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 bank holidays, if we are supposed to go higher or lower, we will still do it, but it will be in a weird way. Just look at what I said. I said that we needed to go lower. This retracement that happened in here was not necessary. Why? Because it is taking time from the market to do its movement. But as it is bank holiday, it will uh, do whatever it wants to do, you know. So it just does it in a very disorganized way. Okay. Fantastic, fantastic. So, yeah, I wouldn't, I wouldn't expect the market to drop that much before the opening, but in case it does, I would be like really fucking happy uh, if that happened, you know. But at the same time, we will need to wait. Why? Because we can either stay inside this range here, guys, and during the opening make a straight line to the downside, filling all this gap, going a little bit lower, and then coming back up again, at least to the consequent encouragement or 70% of the gap again, right? So, um, which I wouldn't like to see that because for tomorrow it would mean that we would like to try to go across this fair value gap here and try to reach for this fair value gap, which wouldn't be very nice for what I expect the market to do. Okay, so saying that, what I expect on Monday is to have a movement higher, but in a position at least inside this range, meaning that in Monday I expect the market to be close to this low here, close to this low, going high at least to this consequent encouragement again, and then drop, and then Tuesday drop again. Okay, that's what I'm that those are my expectations for the next week, since it didn't happen this week. okay, due to bank holiday. Okay, so yeah, let's see how it continues moving. Right now we have 150 profit. Just amazing, amazing, amazing. So very simple today, guys. Not even worried about this. We haven't even moved 10 points. So we have been since the drop from yesterday, we have been making really, really, really slow movements, but really, really slow movements. Uh, Nothing really big, you know. Like look at this placement was just 20 points. 20 points. Where in days like yesterday, we were moving around 30 or 40 points per candle. You see? Per 1 minute candle. Sorry. So, yeah. And the 50 minutes candles were around 100 and 150 points each. So you know. Look, another weird shit here. This big void that was left here. So that for me is a confirmation that we would like to stay lower. I'm going to be putting my stop loss here, paying for the fees, you know. Okay, we were stopped out. That's fine. One second, guys. So here we were stopped out. That's okay. Right now, I would expect to see what I was telling you guys, either a movement to the buy side or to the downside. So we will need to see how the market continues reacting right now. going to be waiting here, guys, to see how it continues. Las 9:15. ¿Qué?
No me ibas a llamar, mi amor.
Amor, ya te habías levantado y te volviste a dormir.
No. Bien.
Levántate.
Pero yo, pues eres
Entonces levántate, cuando te vayas a levantar me dices para apagar la cámara.
Ya me voy a levantar.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so as I was telling you, this was a very decisive time because we needed to decide where we wanted to go. So right now we should have a displacement to the buy side if we want to have a continuation, okay? So that's going to be very important to have in mind when trading today. It's not like you cannot trade today, just like you should be mindful of how you trade, okay? So I'm kind of going to take a trade here to the downside again, but I'm going to wait these next 5 minutes because in a 15 minutes candle, when you will show the predominancy of where it wants to go, it'll happen during the next 5 or 6 minutes of the start of that candle. So right now we just started here at 9:16, and I want to see what happens. In 3 minutes we can have a bounce of at least 20-30 points. That would mean that we will either have a retracement to then go back up again, or we can just go to the opposite side after that. But we will need to see what the candle give us in the next minutes, okay? And way more when it is the last candle before the opening candle. So yeah, we will need to see what happens and how it reacts. I really think we will continue going higher now. So if we make any sort of retracement, close here again, I will take a trade to the buy side. I could be wrong, I could be right, but I will go for a buy today until we reach for this fair value gap in here. If we don't, that's okay. That's okay. Look, it looks very far, but it's only literally it's only 30 points. And you see that most of my trades are 60 or 80 points easily. But in a day like this, 30 points are the new 80 points. Okay, so you have to feel content with that. Sorry guys, my girlfriend was waking up, so you know. So nothing is happening, and we are 2 minutes away from completing the window of 6 minutes. That's what I wanted to see. I loved how it displays to the downside, so that's why I'm deciding to take a trade to the downside. Why? Because I will expect any sort of retracement to go higher. Okay, so in that I will take advantage of that retracement if I can, to then go for a long. Okay, but right now I will take advantage of the retracement that we will make. If we don't do it, that's okay, but I will take advantage of that because we should be at least reaching for this liquidity here or a little bit lower if possible. So okay, seems like we don't want to play games in going back and forth, but I still think we will make a retracement to the downside before the movement higher. Okay, so let's just wait a little bit. Let's see how it continues reacting. Remember that on bank holidays we tend to make weird shit. If we were supposed to retrace 10 points, in a bank holiday we will retrace 17 points. Yes, just because. So that's why this movement is probably happening like that. But yeah, as I said, I will go long, but I will take advantage of the retracement that we will make because why not? And if I lose, That's fine. I decide to take the risk and I face it, you know. So yeah. So let's wait. Let's wait. Today are very small days eh, to play with. Okay, small ranges, small movements. So don't try to rush it and maybe be in a big drawdown. Always stay inside the risk. Always uh, take into account how fast or how slow the market is moving, because that's going to give you an insight of how much you can risk per day and how much you should be winning per day. For instance, in a day like this, losing 100 or 150 or a maximum of 200 would be enough, because today we don't have um, fast movements, we have slow movements. So it's gonna look like it moved a lot, but here, look, here, this is just 200, less than 200. Look, 10 points. And it looks like it was a fucking magnificent move. So, so that's what I mean, you know? That's what I mean. That's what I mean, guys. So, anyways, I'm going to be taking profit here because we should be dropping. We should, you know, it cannot happen, but that's what I think it should have be happening. So, when we drop close to the opening, I will take a long. I will take the long, okay? Because it is not gonna be used as where the market wants to move, but it's going to be used as some sort of a noise for the people who is trading today, you know, and people will maybe think that we will go higher, sorry, lower. So yeah, we have two possibilities here. One is the one that I said, that we can just stay inside this range and then we can make just a straight line to the downside all the way back down here, or we can just jump here. I will hold the idea that we will go higher because that's what the market is giving me. Okay, yes, we can have a drop, but right now what I see is that that drop, it all happened after we reach this liquidity. That drop should be stopping close to the Asian range high, but for me, what the algorithm needs to do is to sweep all the way down. Okay, so we can have for the next week and tomorrow lower prices, which is my main bias. Okay, so we're 4 minutes away from the opening and we are not making the retracement as I wanted it to happen, and we still have 3 minutes, because in 1 minute during the opening we can go all the way up and use these 3 minutes to just reach for this. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Okay, we're 2 minutes away, 1 minute and 30 away from doing something here. I think I'm going to be closing my trade right now, and switching sides to the buy side. So let me see. I don't close it immediately just because for what I tell you guys that we can, in this 1 minute, we can go all the way back down here. And then the next minute retrace all the way back up, So that's the reason why I'm kind of holding this a little bit, but I think I'm closing it. Yeah. Okay. 1 second, guys. Yeah. So I close it, that's fine. I'm going to be taking the long here. I'm going to be taking the long, and I'm going to be using this as my stop loss. Okay. Remember, a day like this is just weird days or a weird movement, so you just have to be mindful of that. So right now we just wait. We're about to open the market. I want to see nothing to the downside, but also what I said could happen as well, so I'm going to be lowering my risk here to see how it reacts. Let's see. Yeah. Another perfect trade. Another perfect trade for today. And I think I'm closing it here. Yeah. I close it even though we will reach higher liquidity because I don't know. I don't feel like risking that much today. So, well, I expect the market to come back up here. Nothing further than that. So, whatever. This is just too easy for me. It's always that easy. No hesitations. Very simple day. So yeah, we will still go higher, as I said. We will not stop yet. We will make a drop, but that's gonna happen around 9:50 and 10 a.m. That's gonna start at that time. So right now we will need to wait to see how it goes. I won't be taking any more trades today. Why? Because the mental risk of a 20 points movement is not worth for me. Okay, so that's the reason why, because 20 points is a mental risk for me that I don't want to happen or to go through right now. Even though I'm pretty sure and confident that we will go higher, I know it's going to be a very slow run there, because as I said, these are not big targets. Look, we moved fast, and it was a 10 points movement. You see, so I will re-enter. I will re-enter this, and I will just hold for 5 minutes or so, just a little bit, and I will go with this just here. So that's going to be my take profit here, another 10 points. That's fine. So yeah, let's see how fast we reach 10 points today, because the market's kind of crazy. So well, anyways, 900 should be the easiest target to get, should be right, and we should be getting to 915 for today as the highest high of today. It should be that, or maximum, exaggerating, 930, which I really wouldn't expect the market to go up there, because it would be just too much for what the algorithm wants to do. So yeah, right now we are in a very careful position, so we need to be pending of this, because we can be making any sort of retracements, right? So we don't want that to put that our money in risk. So I don't expect to be in a very high profit today. Also, I didn't expect to be either in profits today. I just did this to show you guys how easy it is to trade on bank holidays as well. It doesn't mean you have to do it, but I try to explain to you what happens in bank holidays, And also, what is happening right now is the classical Judas swing. Just here, we started at 9:10 a.m. The Judas swing is straight to the buy side. We haven't had any interruptions, so we usually have retracements at this time. But when we have retracements at this time, 9:35 is a retracement time, something that you will understand when you do your investigation. We tend to recover the movement, but I don't think that will happen, because if we make that retracement right now in a slow day like this, it will mean that we will need to be doing fast movements, right? So if it happens, that's fine, that's okay for the market to do, but I wouldn't like to see that happening, but seems like it's going to happen, right? So I'm going to be putting it just here, break even, that's okay. No winning day, no losing day, that's fine. So this is what I was meaning. If we fail to go up there, it will mean that the market will tend to retrace, but it won't be. I mean, if we don't reach for that liquidity right now, it will mean we want to do another movement higher with better motion to the buy side, probably tomorrow. Okay, meaning that we will try to reach for this. I don't think so, but it can happen. So I will risk the last thing here for the buy side to 900, just here, and that's it. That's going to be my target for today, 900, and yeah. Let's see how it goes. 900 should be an easy target, as I said. Yeah, our target is here, the consequent encouragement. So 900 should be a very easy target to get, right? should be. It doesn't mean that it has to go there, but it should be an easy target to go, you know. Also for me and for the bias that I have for the market this week and the next week, uh, we should be going there before 10 a.m. Because if we go up there after 2 p.m., it'll mean we are really changing the momentum of the market, right? And that we really want to go up the whole next week, okay? So yeah, so it seems like we are playing inside this fair value gap that we have in here, just a little bit there. As long as we don't go lower from the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap, we are okay. But seems like the market really wants to reach for lower liquidity, but if we do that, it will mean that we will try to gap fill, which would be nice as well, would be nice, but at the same time I wouldn't like to see that today, not this fast. Like, I want to see the gap fill, but after taking this consequent encouragement, you see. So after taking the consequent encouragement, that would be at 915, I would like to see a retracement, but not right now. Right now it would be just too early to happen, okay? Just too early to happen. So yeah. Okay, seems like the market doesn't think it's too early. It's fine. Just give it some time. As I said, when we make the retracements at 9:35 that I told you, usually they are straight retracements. After the try to go lower, we made a retracement to the buy side or a continuation to the buy side. So that's why I felt confident in taking a trade here to the buy side. Okay, that's the reason why, because we are not using this as of change in the delivery of the market bus, but as a retracement of the continuation of the movement. Okay, so yeah, as I said, 900 should be an easy target to get. If it doesn't happen, that's okay. Sometimes you are right, sometimes you're wrong. Even when most of the days you're right, sometimes it just can't happen. So it's okay. Okay, we are going down a little bit further than I expected. I will be holding a little bit longer. I don't care too much about these voids that we leave here, because remember, it's bank holiday, and during bank holidays we make weird movements, right? So weird movements will have different ranges that are not harmonical, you know. So when they are not harmonical, they move like you don't know where they're gonna stop, but they will stop where you think they're gonna stop, but put like 10 points more, you know, so you can have a better sense. For instance, I said that I didn't want to see this going lower of the consequent encouragement, but at the same time, it's bank holiday, so going lower should be the most logic thing to do, you see, to then retrace, just like it is doing here. So right now I will see what happens. We already sweep the liquidity of the opening candle, so I want to see if we want to continue going higher. We didn't touch the gap yet. We didn't even want to touch it, so that's another confirmation for me that we don't want to gap fill yet, because if we wanted to gap fill already, have done it by now, but it still can happen. So I will need to be mindful of that and wait. But what I think is we will reach for high liquidity. So let's just wait. Just wait. Okay, you see how it is moving now to the buy side, very calmly. Now I want to see a rapid move to the buy side, guys. Let's see. Let's see if it gives us the opportunity to be profitable today. Very boring day, guys. So, what can you do? Very boring. So look, we already reached back to break even. That's fantastic. Now I want to see a movement to the buy side. Let's see how it reacts. I want 300, so that's why I'm going to put it a little bit higher. 300 for a day like this, just way more than amazing. Okay. Slow days, guys, are just something that you want to run away from. But since I love to teach you and to show you how easy it is to get money from the market and that you don't have to be scared from the market, that's why I decided to do it today. But remember, this represents a risk in days like this where the movements are really slow and maybe you are used to have fast movements and you can be getting wrecked back and forth every time you try to enter a trade. Because let's say, for instance, you see drawdown of 10 points and you decide to get out and enter the other way, like the opposite way, and then you say, okay, it'll continue going higher, for instance, for 20 points more, and the market decides to just retrace another 10 points, and then you decide to say, okay, we are really going lower. So you close and you already have two losing trades, each 10 point each. Okay, and then when you re-enter to the downside, it decides that it wants to go higher again, and like that you already lose 30-40 points trying to get where the market wants, because things like the pace of the market, like how fast or how slow it is moving, you don't take that into account. And it's very important because it doesn't only happen on bank holidays, it also happens in normal days, in weekdays, where we have small ranges in that day, and having 10 points trades or 15 points trades is like having an 80 points a day, because the market it's not giving you more than that, right? So that's why my target right here, it's only 14 points. It's not more. And when you see me trading in weekdays, in normal weekdays, I tend to go for at least 60, 70, 80. And most of my trades are 200 points analysis, because I still don't let them run that much because I'm a little bit of impatient, okay? But I feel content even though I take out 60, 50, 80. I feel content even though when my trades go beyond 100 points, you know? So, yeah, days like this, getting 14 points is like getting 100. So, you have to take that into account when trading. People just ignore it and they get used to some pace of the market, and when it is different, that wrecks them. So you need to know how to see, how to realize the speed of the market, so also you can have realistic targets for your trades, you know. As I said yesterday I said that if we didn't have a rapid move from here before the opening, I was expecting a sweep on liquidity before the opening of this liquidity. And I told you, if we didn't go beyond this liquidity before the opening, we were not dropping anything more than 300 points. And see how much we dropped: 934 and 683. That's 300 points. 300, just right there. You see? Just right there. 300. I said no more than 300. If we don't sweep this liquidity before opening and we don't make the opening at least below that liquidity, we were not dropping anything lower than 300 points. It happened. I said it yesterday, and it is in my life. And you can go and check how I made money with my analysis. So having that into account, having the speed of the market into account, will get you to a very nice places, because that's going to help you to understand better what you can expect. Right now, I'm in a position where I'm totally open to lose money today and totally open to make money today. I'm really doing this for you guys to see how I trade and how I take trades, and that's it. But I don't have very high expectations from today because but as I've been saying, this should be an easy target to get. Also, I expect a gap fill at 10 a.m. 10:10, 10:15. I expect to start a retracement for a gap fill. Okay, so yeah, we still have like some room to go. I don't want to go any lower than this. Because if we will go lower, this should be a time where we want to decide to go lower. Okay, so yeah, we got stopped out. That's fine. Today we are going with losing trades. That's okay. $57 represents nothing. So this is what I was talking about. Sorry, guys. You need to be mindful of this. You see? So I put my account in more risk if I let it run, because I don't know if I let it run, let's say 15 points in a day like this, I don't know if it'll come back to it, even though it is only 15 points, you know. So yeah. So let's see. Uh, Going to re-enter, and it's gonna be my last trade for the day. Okay, if we get money, that's fantastic. If we don't, that's fantastic as well. So I'm still with my target. You see how I don't move it higher or lower. I stick to it because I know today I cannot get anything further than that. Okay, so yeah. So let's see how it goes, how it continues to go, and that's it. If you ask why I decided to enter the trade to the buy side, is because if we don't start the macro of 10 a.m. at 9:50, we tend to go to the same direction we were going, meaning we should be going higher. But I'm expecting to start the macro that is going to fill this gap at 10 a.m. 10 10 10. So that's the reason why this candle for me made me think that I needed a stop loss. So right now I took probably another risky trade, but at the same time I feel confident because that's what I've investigated, and it should be that way. You know, we should be coming up here uh, before the drop. At least we need to at least touch that gap, and we haven't done it. So yeah, so I will hold it 10 points, and that's it. That's it. I'm not holding that much in drawdown because I don't need to. I don't need to in a day like this. Okay. So this is just fantastic. We are going there. Just look. We continue going higher. 10 points in a day like this is around at least 60 points, okay? So be mindful of that, guys. Always, every time. So this is my last trade of the day. We are not risking any more than this. The market is not giving anything else. So risking $60 in a market like this, it's like a normal risk of 200 in a normal market. Okay, so I have the same feeling, like I feel the same, you know, risking 200, 400 in a normal market. It's right now the same of risking 60, you know, and just as me having 200 or 400 profit feels normal, that's why 60 or 70 that I see in the screen that I already have feels normal, you know, and I always go a little bit beyond, and you know that my profits usually are good, you know. I don't want to put a number on them, but they feel good, and having 200 today feels amazing, you know. That's what I feel, that's how I feel. So you need to seek for the same feelings of being grateful and for being patient, and that gives you peace. Okay, so if you feel like in a day, in a normal day, a risk of 200 is just too much, and winning 200 is just too much, stay with that. Don't try to get more or to get less, because you know you can get 200. And if you don't get 200, you will feel empty, right? But if you get 200 and you try to tell yourself that it wasn't enough, even when you know it was enough, that's going to take you into a mood where you want to put into risk that profit, trying to be uh, greedy, you know? So just feel content with what you feel is enough for the day. As I say, I feel content today with 200, but in a normal day, 200 would be the normal movement. You know, I would be seeing 200 drawdown and saying it's okay, we're going to hold the trade because I'm confident, you know. But today is just another manipulated day. So whatever. So we're close to 10 a.m. and we seem to have some issues to get up there to 900. Seems like we really want to gap fill already. So um, I'm going to be very mindful of this information that the market is giving to me. I still will give it a room of 10 minutes, meaning until here. It's going to be the maximum time that I will give the market to give me this target or a drawdown. Okay, my drawdown is not going to be that deep. Uh, so oh shit. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It seems like the market already wants to gap fill because the movement higher that happened today was not something that should have been happening, right? We should have been going lower today because we haven't matched Bitcoin. Yeah, it may sound crazy for you, but we usually go at the same pace of Bitcoin, so we haven't matched its uh, its drop, you know. So that's the reason why the market it's like moving like this, you know. But anyways, so let's see how it reacts here. As I said, this should be the last window of time for me to reach here. I know 10 minutes should be enough, right, to get there. But anything can happen. So I have to go to the gym and do some other things. So this is going to be the last time I will be waiting for the market to react. Easy moving, easy movement, easy movement. If by 10 a.m. we are either in drawdown or profits, I will take it out. Okay? Why? Because it can go until 10:30, but 10:30 is just too much. And for me, it has sense that we take too long to get there because our main target is not are not higher prices. We really don't want to go higher, but the algorithm needs to. I mean, as I said, we are delayed in algorithm, so the algorithm needs, in some way, not to get that far from following what it has to do. So leaving tasks behind without being done will represent a problem to the algorithm. That's why we are doing it today, because we will not have time to do so after the drop that we will have in the next days. Okay, so yeah, my stop loss is going to be just here, 3 points. That's around $50, I think. And my take profit is going to be here. So we either hit my stop loss that I don't have there. I don't have it there because, you know, but I have it in my mind. Okay, I have it in my mind. So we just wait to see what happens, to see how it reacts. We already touched the fair value gap of the 15 minutes. We are now getting close to it. Every time a little bit closer. We're just 5 points away. And look, all the mess that we make just to go for 5 points. That's all that is missing, even though we have to go for 15 because we have to go to 915 at least, you know, but it will be a mess to go there because we don't want to go higher. It has to go higher, but the algorithm needs to go lower, you know. So when you want something live, there's always gonna be first what you need to do. So you want to do whatever you want, yeah, but first you need I don't know, be in shape. Yeah, like you want to go to a fitness competition. Okay, that's what you want, but what you need is to be in shape. So you need to go to the gym. That's a need, you know. So the need of the market is to go lower, but it wants to go higher. So you want to enter to a fitness competition, it doesn't mean you cannot watch fitness videos, right? It doesn't mean you cannot study about it, right? It doesn't mean that you cannot do many things. So it's the same with this. Yes, you want to go higher. It doesn't mean you cannot go here. Yes, you can go there, but you will not go that further. Why? Because your need is below. So here we wait. I don't like this at 10 a.m. exactly at 10 a.m. Because this can be used as a fair value gap to continue its movement lower. Okay, it can be used as that. So if we use this immediately as a fair value gap to the downside, it will mean we will reach back to these lows here, and there we will see if we really want to go lower or not if we reach here. But since we are having really small movements, it's okay, like, to make these drops, you know. Let's wait, I said, until 10 a.m. Either we are in profit or drawdown. I was going to close my trade at 10:10. Okay. Even if 1 minute after, even if 1 minute after we reach our target, you don't have to feel bad for that. Okay. Why? Because that's life, and when you say something, you have to commit to it. And if I said that at 10:10 a.m. I will close my trade, either we are in profit or drawdown, I will do it. Okay. Why? Because that's how I trade. If you trade based on hitting your stop loss or take profit, that's you, because you don't know the things that I know. And when you know the things that I know, you know that all of this noise that is happening shouldn't be happening, and getting there will give you a headache because the market is moving like this. Okay. So yeah, also the decision that I make is a little bit risky because, for instance, in these 3 minutes we can be one tick away, and I will say at 10:10 and then the next second we can drop 50 points, you know. So that's also a risky decision that you have to to cope, you know, and that you have to accept. Also, I can be here at 70 points profit, so $70 profit, and all of a sudden the next 2 minutes we just go on drawdown $70, and I have to cope with that because I decided to do it that way, you know. So yeah, it's away from it, from 1010. Also, guys, if you think the time, this is a question that I have, and hopefully some of you can answer to me. If you think the time doesn't matter, why some brokers have the option to close the trade or to open trades at a specific time, in a specific time? Have you stopped yourself to think about why brokers have an option to open or close trades in a specific times? Have you stopped to think about that? I'm pretty sure you haven't. And the moment you realize why, you will understand many things. Look what I said. Just look what I said. Literally what I said. I can be in the next minute $70 in drawdown, and that's fine as well, you know. I literally said that, and it happened. But you have to cope with that because that's your decision. And if you decide that you have to just be a man it up, you know. 30 seconds to close my trade. Just look at the live example of what I was saying. 20 seconds. Let's see. We said 10 a.m. We stick to 10 a.m. That's it. Seems like we're closing in drawdown. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to go a little bit higher, just to be in break even. So seems like we wanted to fill the gap already. 10:10. It already ended, and we're closing it. We're closing it, guys. 160 in drawdown. That's fine. Yes, we can reach back all the way up right now. It can happen. That's totally fine. And yeah, this is something that you have to just be mindful and take into account because it can happen, just like it happened. Okay. So have a great day, guys. I see you tomorrow, so we can trade in a better scenario. And yeah, have a great day.